This is a short video, guys. We're in some reds on, in blues, in some blues on gold, and we are holding until price reaches this upper part. But our price has been consolidating on gold. So if you're trading gold right now, I would say that you should definitely try out holding your trades a bit longer. But we know that anything above this level is good for buys. Okay, we know that anything above this level is good for buys. And let's hold and see what price gives us. But if price doesn't give us any indication, because on the H1 price is starting to buy, okay, so we may either aim for this level of support we had above, or price can potentially just reverse from there and then continue falling. So there are so many options for it. But just to show you guys, there's this trade I was taking on USD actually today was buying with massive volume. Then after some time, we see that it's now starting to sell. Okay, so USD is now starting to sell, and I'm going to start stacking in my sales because I entered a bit too early for USD But price so far is if you observe, this was the previous higher low in the market, lower high in the market. Okay, price never retested it, but now it's starting to fade. We had bullish structure, and price is now starting to do what? To sell off. But let's wait and see what price gives us, because sincerely speaking, the entry which I would have taken is for price to come underneath this level. So anything underneath this level will give me the clue that price wants to sell. So if price comes underneath this level, I'll be willing to take my entries for sales. But unfortunately, we are in the London session, so there isn't so much activity. But the New York is about to start, maybe like in a couple of hours. So I don't know. You guys should just wait and see what price gives us. But yeah, gold is bullish for now. It's failing to make a new higher high. I wouldn't trade it right now, so I don't know. Let's wait and see what price gives us, because anything above this level is good for buys. Stop loss is just underneath this level, which created the level itself, and then TP is at the top. But just so you guys know, I'll just close that one position. I'll close out the one for $10, then we shall hold the rest. But meanwhile, let's go to GBP USD, because it's one of the pairs which is active during the London session. So on GBP USD, I go to the H1, because that's where I trade most of my entries. So from the H1 perspective, I see that price is above a level of resistance. This was a level of resistance before. Price came the first time above that level. So the second time that price has come above this level, I'm expecting price to start pushing. Remember that here we had a support. Price retested it, never retested it. Here we also had another level of support that was broken, giving us the indication, but there wasn't such a strong confluence. I go to the M15 so that I can see what price is giving me, and I see that on the M15, price is suddenly starting to make some bit of resistance. You see this area over here, price is showing me that it's resisting. There is lots of sellers coming to the market at this area. Okay, but that area, we don't know where it is until we realize that price is likely not to continue bullish. Okay, but I have to consult with the H1 first. So from the H1 perspective, I have to wait a bit so that price can come above that area. But for gold is now starting to, gold can simply just start to sell right now, because we don't see any much volume in the market at this point. You may see a pullback maybe. Let me just close out of this position. I've closed out because I don't really see much momentum in the markets. But just so you guys know, I've lost over 800 today, so I'm just in recovery mode for the $800 that I lost today. And yeah, that's what price gives us. But you see here, the commission was almost $1. Even here, commission was $1. The trade that took me out the most was for USD I was holding these trades from around, I think, yesterday. I was holding these trades because price had given me the first indication that it wanted to sell. So my indication was that if price is giving me the indication that it wants to sell, all I have to do is simply wait for price to do what? To break a level or a structure, and then I'll start to sell. But so far price has been holding, so I haven't got most of those entries, so I'll have to wait a bit. But just so you guys know, when you get to the M5, I'm really going to sell. When price comes underneath this level, I'll start to sell. Whenever price comes underneath this level, I'll sell. But apart from that, I don't really see much. Here I had some bit of a level of resistance over there, but price eventually broke through it. So if price goes above this level again, we may see some bit of a push to the upside. Okay, so those are the few confluences that I have. Price either has to come underneath that level for me to sell, or it has to go above that level for me to buy. So I'll be holding price, but I'll go to the chart of trading view. Let me first go to the trading view chart so that I can enter in. So we shall go to trading view over here, and then we shall go to USDJPY so that we can set trading alerts. Okay, once we set those alerts, that means that if price comes underneath or above that level, we shall be in position to enter in our trades. Anyways, we see that USDJPY is over here, so I shall just tap on it and go for the full chart. Okay, so I'm going for the full chart. So my network is a bit slow. So we see that price is starting to, as I've told you guys, I'll have to go to the high time frames. This is the H1, so we are good. But of course now we are we have seen that so far price is in the London session. It's in the price could be in the. If I show you. Okay, so prices. Okay. Let me first make this a bit another color, maybe like yellow. And make this yellow so that it can move out more better. Okay. So we are currently in the London session. So in the London session, I'm just waiting for price to go above a certain zone, then I'll start to stack in my entries. Okay. But basically, we see that whenever price, now these sessions, of course, now we know, we have seen that so far whenever price went above this area over here, I showed you guys. So let me just go to the M5 so that I can just place my limits, because I already showed you guys I showed you on the other time frames. So I told you guys that from the M5, all I'm waiting for is for price to come underneath this level over here, and then I'll be taking my entries for sales. So this area over here, once price taps underneath this area, I'll be taking my sales. So I'll add a lot at that area over there. Okay. Okay, and then we shall also add another alert if price comes above this area here. I've seen that this was an area of resistance, so if price comes above it, we shall start to buy. Okay, so those are the two alerts. Then for gold, I don't know if I see gold. Okay, gold is here. Okay, for gold, we see that whenever price was making lower lows. Okay, let's go to the H1 that you guys can observe. So if you go to the H1 over here, gold is now starting to pick up momentum. Okay, but there isn't so much information from the H1, so I'll stick maybe to the low time frame so that I can observe structure more. We go to the 5 minute. Okay, so in the 5 minute on gold, we show that we have a strong, very bullish structure on the M5. Okay, but for gold, as we know that anything, whenever price went above this level, it gave us the first indication. So price, I'm going to start buying here. I shall put my tool, because you know that anything above that level is good for buys. But since we're in the New York London session, I don't really have so much of I don't really have so much of a confluence, but just so you know, so this will be my position here. I'll take my buys here, okay, stop loss there, and then the TP can be over here. That will give about 1 to 1.5, but I can even ride it all the way to the top. Stop loss is underneath this level because I've shown you guys that anything underneath that level we shall, but we can always adjust it so that we can have a more meaningful trade, which is not likely to be stopped out. So this will be my stop loss over here, and then the TP, as I've told you guys, whenever price goes above that level, that will be my entry. The first TP is going to be above around this area over here. So once price went above this area, that would have been our entry, okay? And then the TP, as I've told you guys, it could be the first area where you see some bit of a support, some bit of a resistance. So it will be like a 1 to 1.53, okay? But always aim for at least a 1 to 1 point something. But so yeah, as I've told you guys, for gold I won't really be holding because price is making some bits of resistance in the markets, and also for the sessions we see that price is in the London session, okay? Price is actually in the London session where there's lots of volatility, so I have to wait maybe a bit so that I can enter the New York session where I can easily start to stack in my entries. But I just so you know, I'll put an alert here so that I know that price has come back under this level for the second time, and then I will know whether to take an entry for buys or sells, okay? So I'll put there my limits. So I'll alert at 4006, okay? Okay, so the overlap here, overlap. Okay, so that's it for gold. The overlap starts at around so you guys can observe the overlap starts at from the other week at 20. Okay, so the overlap starts here at around 13, okay? At around 13, that's when the overlap starts. So probably we have like 1 hour before New York opens, and I would really be willing to take my entries for buys on gold in the next coming hours if price gives just motion, okay? But you know that above that area, price is bullish, and therefore you can hold until we reach the next area of the next area, okay? So during the London session, the London has been bullish. It has given us the first indication, okay? So in the London, we had the indication for a buy. So in the New York, we may see probably a continuation, but what I want to see from the New York is simply some bit of a momentum push, because the London is a bit hectic right now. London is a bit hectic. May have some selling potential in the next coming candles, but yeah, let's wait and see what price gives us. I don't really see much on that pair right now. Maybe oil. Let's go to oil and we see. Oil doesn't move that much during the Asian, but I'll go for your case. I'll go to the H1. So from the H1 perspective, let's first remove the indicators. Okay, so from the H1 perspective, you see that whenever price went above this level over here on US oil, when price went above this level, we had bullish momentum, okay? So anything above this level is good for buys, because we saw that this was the last area before price made this huge drop, okay? So anything above that level is good for buys, as simple as that. So for US oil, you may see some bit of continuation. So you are currently in the correction phase. We already had the first indication when price went above this area. So this was the first indication probably when price came and pushed above this area, okay? So this was the first indication that we had, okay? Price came and pushed above the area, giving us the indication that it wanted to go bullish. So after the indication, all we have to do is to wait for price to make a correction, then we shall have a continuation to the upside. So we don't know where the correction will end, but we probably know that it will start to make sense because price is now forming higher highs and higher lows in the market. Okay, so let's go to arc curve. So see that over here price made a level of support, and then after that level of support was made, we had another level over here. That's another area of support. So I have drawn it badly, but so those are the two areas of support that we have in the market. Okay, so price is making higher lows. Okay, we have shifted structure and we already broke out of structure. So all we need to do right now is simply wait for price to make the pullback, and once we enter the New York session, so the New York session is the one coming in very soon. Once we enter the New York session, we shall then probably start to see trades. As I've told you, it's around 12.56 there. That's when the New York session starts. But anything above that level is good for buys. Therefore, we shall be waiting for price to come underneath, and then afterwards we shall hold. But also, now let me just give you source. Okay, when I say that I'm going to give you source, this is what I mean. Let me just go to my sessions. I remove the indicator. So the source is that price has been extremely bearish on US oil for the past couple of days. Okay, so we're expecting that we may have an indication for price to continue with the same bearish structure. So the first indication that we had, price moved all the way from there up to here. Okay, that was the first indication that we had. So after there, price moved up to consolidate and break some structure. Okay, collect liquidity, that is. So if price comes underneath this level once more, if price comes underneath this level, if price comes underneath this level one more time, you may see bearish structure. I think I've messed up. Okay, so we had the first indication for sales along this area. Price came underneath this area, giving us the indication that it wanted to sell. So this was the previous lower low in the market. Price sold. Okay, so if price comes back the second time underneath this area over here, if price comes and goes underneath this level the second time, then I'm willing to take my sales because the overall structure is bearish. So although we have had some bit of a shift in structure, I'm expecting for price to start dropping at least until we reach the next area of support, because we have seen that anything underneath that level of support is good for sales. Therefore, price is going to start selling soon, and we shall be waiting, and hopefully we shall get some good entries for today. But as I've told you guys, this is all happening during the two sessions. So either we're doing this under the New York. When the New York opens and we see market shifting structure, then we shall probably be looking for buys. But if price comes underneath that zone, again I'll be taking my sales because I know that the price is extremely bearish underneath this area. So given that information, I'll just add a sell limit. I'll just add an alert. Okay, you see the way most of this works is that price has to give us the alerts, then we shall take entries. Without alerts, we can't really have much. Okay, so I'll add an alert over here so that if price comes underneath this level, I'll know that price is gonna be bearish. So let's wait. So far I think I've used so many alerts and prices but let's go to my chart so that I can show you guys what I mean. So I'll go to my chart on my funded account. I'm not actually trading any positions right now, but let's go to US oil so that I can show you guys what I mean. US oil. There's no oil. crude oil, Brent oil. Let's add both of them and see what their structure is. Okay, so this is what I'm telling you guys, that underneath this level over here, price has been extremely bearish. Okay, so the second time that price comes underneath this level, we shall have some good sales in the market. So as I told you guys, we had a level of support over here, so this was a good area of support. Okay, price came and pushed from that area. Then we had the second area of support over here, so price is making what? Higher lows in the market. So I have two conferences, but the most stronger one is for price to continue with a bearish structure, because that's what has been happening for the past couple of days. Therefore, since the bears are taking over the market, I shall also be looking for bearish structure. But in case price comes above this area, as I've told you guys, I'll be taking my sells, my buys, sorry. So from the daily perspective, yeah, price is a bit bullish right now. Price is extremely bullish. But if you observe also to your left, whenever price went underneath those two levels of support, we had sales. So yeah, there is that also. So with Brent oil, we may see some sales coming in soon. Okay, we may see some good sales coming in soon. And for us to take sales, we just simply go to the all time from like the M15, and we see that price has already started to shift structure. Okay, so we had a bullish structure over here, but what happened next is that price started to go what? Price started to go bearish. Okay, so that means that price is now starting to wail and go even lower. So during the New York Open, we may see price actually start to drop massively. Given all that conferences, I'll start with a small lot size 0.1. So if I put 0.1 there and then I TP, it will be $4.06. Okay, I'll use 0.9 and I see 135. Okay, what if I use 1? I'll use 1.9 for sales on this pair, because price has given us bearish structure, and also I'm under a level where we have massive selling. Therefore, I will sell oil. Stop loss is going to be above this area where I saw the first market structure shift, and then I'll be holding until we see the New York end. And I think also the New York is about to start, but for clarity, I'll go to App Store so that I can download that New York app. So there's an app called the Sessions app, and it's a very good app for reminding you of what sessions. Okay, so there's an app here, let me show you. It's called Forex Hours, Forex Sessions Clock. Okay, so it's this one over here. It gives you you can customize your time zone so that you can match the time. Okay, so this is a really good thing. You even can add alarms, so many good stuff. Therefore, I advise, if you guys don't have it, you really have to get this app. It's called Forex Hours, and I think what we have to do is just open when ready, and then let's go back and I explain a bit more of why I took this entry here. So I've told you guys that price has been extremely bearish on US oil. Price actually was very, very bearish, but now you have seen that price has the potential to start dropping very soon, but we don't have news. Okay, so what I do in the most of the cases, I go to the structure. I go to the news. So one of the ways you can get news is by simply going to Google. So here you go to Google so that I can confirm my entries. It's not like 100%, but at least I have something to back up my assumption. Okay, so we shall go to US oil news. So if you go to US oil news, you shall discover stories, and you shall see that what price is actually doing in real time for the news. So you see that Why is US oil falling? You see that you see that crude oil was selling. So if you guys can observe, we have some news over here that US is pursuing third oil tanker of Venezuela. So when the US is pursuing a third tank, what do you expect? I'm expecting that price is going to sell, because once you perceive value, we are perceiving that the US oil is now being we are intercepting a new tank of oil. That means that price is likely now to start dropping. Why? Because there's going to be more supply of the US oil. Okay. Sorry, my network is a bit slow, but I want to show you guys what I mean. So you see that oil prices also have been supported by this alongside the fact that the president is taking a hardline approach to the financial trade. Blah 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 blah. East Coast pursuing an oil tanker and international water operation. So we see that we are pursuing. Okay. Okay, we see that price is likely to rebound, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what the news will have to give us, because the news have told us that price is likely to become bearish, bullish. Okay, but let's wait and see what price will give us. And you see that there isn't much. Price is just at zero. There isn't much motion in the markets, but once the new kicks in, we shall see some real motion. Then, as I've told you guys, I'll go to my favorite pair. I usually trade gold. The new session is about to start, therefore you can go to gold over here. Go to the chart of gold, and I see that price is actually now starting to go above the same level. Remember that level where I told you that once price was above this level, we could start to see pushes up? Well, price is simply just above that level, so but it's resisting a lot from the top, so I don't really see much trades on gold for now, but so far it was a good try. Okay, we have seen that price, if you observe, price is starting to price actually wants to continue with the bullish move. Okay, but for guys of us who are trading, we know that we have to be patient. Sometimes it takes patience. But for US oil, we're starting to sell, and I've told you guys that in the new session we may see some good sales on it, and I don't know, let's wait and see what price gives us. But SDJPY, we're entering the new York session, and price is actually now starting to sell, which is funny. Price actually now started to sell. We have gone underneath. We are starting to see some bearish involvement over here. This is crazy. Let me first go to the what? We know that anything underneath that level is good for sales, but just so you know, I'll go to the M15. Remember, the daily is selling, okay, but the M5 is one of the time frames which I want. So anyways, I know that anything underneath this level is gonna sell, so I'll sell again, but this time around I'll sell with the outside of 6. Okay, so I'll sell with the outside 6 on this pair. My TP is gonna be around there, and then for the other trade, For this sale of 6, I shall see, let me see, 157. So the TP will be 157.099. So we may see some sales here, but yeah, as I've told you guys, USDJPY is here. It has crossed my level, so that's why I took the entry. So let's wait and see what price gives us. But we're expecting some good sales here also. But I'll go to the 157 point. Let's get 156. Okay, let's modify it to 166. Sorry. Okay, so on 156 we see that where is 156? Oh shit. Yes, we may have some bit of a pullback, maybe, but my stop loss for this one will be around $50. So $50 times 3, that's around $200 for the other small position. How do you see this area? This is 157. 157.463. So we shall put if I should move this, so 157.473. So 157.473. The issue that I'm having, price is now starting to sell, but I don't have anything. Okay, that's $300 on stop loss, and then my TP for this one, my TP is gonna be, I'll aim for 1K, because this is all liquidity. So price not here, I mean this one. So I'll hold, not this is 500, 600, 700, 800. We shall hold until price at least reaches this level here. This is another good level to hold price to, because price has been actually stalling, but we know that whenever it goes underneath that level, we may have some good sales. So yeah, price is starting to sell, and it's really looking good for our body. But we are close to 800, so I don't know. You guys should tell me why you would even agree with me. But yeah, let's wait and hold our trades and see what price gives us, because my stop loss is above this level, and then I'll be holding price till we reach 30p. So let's wait. But for US oil is actually, let me go to the market. US oil is actually just stalling around. I don't know if it will reach my TP, but my stop loss is going to be above this level where we saw the first structure shift, so it will be around 34.2. that will be my stop loss, and then the rest is just history. Let's wait and see what price gives us. But yeah, that's it for so far, guys. I told you that my name is Kevin. I'll be making most of these videos, although I don't want to make most of these longest videos, because they tend to have lots of connotations to them. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for in these pairs. Sometimes you can get great entries, but sometimes you can be impatient. For instance, I sold USDJPY during the wrong session, okay, and I got stopped out. So I have to keep that in mind next time when I'm trading, that if I'm trading and I'm going to go through a negative, maybe when I say a wrong volume, okay, I'm going to lose way too much money. If I didn't trade, actually I would have made so much money from those sales. But I entered in late and I was holding price at the wrong moment. So it is what it is. But so assuredly we're expecting some sales to kick in on US oil. As I've told you, we're expecting some sales, and yeah, let's see what price gives us. But if price comes above that level the second time, that is to say, if the New York session turns bullish and we go above this level the second time, we can start to stack in our buys. Okay, we can start to stack in our buys, because price is now making higher levels of support, but you have seen that anything underneath that level is good for sales. That's why I was selling. But if price goes above, then I will just simply just close out. So we have that pair. And for gold, I've told you guys that gold is likely to have this massive push. Actually, gold in the New York session is starting to it may have another push to the upside, a really good push to the upside. So be careful for that. Or we may have, gold can do whatever gold wants. It can go up, it can go down. We don't care, because gold so far has given us zero pressure. It has not given us any clear sign that it wants to stand bearish again. Okay. I think that's it for now. I don't really have much. As I've been explaining to you in most of the other videos, if you trade ICC, all you need is just the time frame and then the volume. So the New York session is about to start, but also the volume has to be there for me to take all these entries. So I've told you that I will be putting my stop loss underneath. Typical be around 1 to 1.5. Okay. Sorry, 2.62. Okay, that's it. So anything above this level is good for buys. Anything underneath this level is not good for buys. So I'll be putting my stop loss maybe just a little bit under here, and then my TP will be at the top. So it may hold until we reach around 4500, 4450 over here. That's some good cash. That's a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So it's a good way to see your profits in real time. But let's hold and see what price gives us.